Much harder. A lot of energy, so I'll try to roam around a little bit. It's been a crazy week in Washington, hasn't it? A lot going on. The one thing that I want to start out with is we saw the retirement of Paul Ryan. Right.
Well, he's not retired
Who
yet.
spent his entire career trying to privatize and cut Social Security and Medicare. And the reason he retired just a couple days ago, or announced his retirement, is because of the force of people and rooms just like this one all across the country. So I want to start by saying thank you. Thank you to all of you for doing what you're doing and making sure that folks like that are not going to represent us in the future. And now we got to do the next part. We got to make sure that we get Jeff Denham out of office. We take back the House, and that's why we're here. A little bit about me. I'm a fifth generation resident of the district. My great-great-grandfather came out on a wagon train in 1850. He came 2,000 miles in search of gold and then stopped 50 miles short. Became a peach farmer, go figure. I grew up in Turlock, went through the public school system. I graduated from Modesto High. Any Panthers in the audience? Couple? Good. I got a scholarship from the Modesto Rotary Club and from the American Legion to go off to Stanford, go off to Harvard Business School. I spent my career building businesses and creating jobs. Now I teach at Modesto Junior College. Any Pirates? Any junior college alums? A couple. Good. Got some Mohai and some junior college folks. But I teach business there. I teach folks on the GI Bill. I teach kids who are 45, or not kids, people coming back trying to get a certification so they could re-enter the workforce. Really a cross-section society. And I teach them how to build their own careers. In Modesto, that means I talk a lot about taco trucks, auto body repair shops, and marijuana dispensaries, which are really popular among business plans of my students. But I never thought I'd do politics. I never thought I'd be standing up here in front of this room until November 2016 happened. And I saw a community that was being deeply misrepresented on the issues that matter most. We'll talk about a lot of them today, but I think healthcare, immigration, and most of all jobs and economic opportunities are really core to me. Healthcare is probably the easiest one to think about. Right? We have a district where nearly 50% of us are on Medicaid. We have a congressman who's voted consistently to repeal the Affordable Care Act, including last year when he voted for Trump Care, a bill that would have left 100,000 people here without insurance. This is a really personal issue for me. My younger brother David was born 10 weeks premature. He spent 2 years of his life in and out of a hospital. He was less than 2 pounds when he was first born. I couldn't even hold my baby brother. He had all these tubes coming out of him in the intensive care unit over at Doctors. And when he came out of the hospital for the last time, he had a health care bill that was 104 pages long. And luckily, we had the insurance to take care of it. Now he's healthy. He's our best campaign volunteer. He's a student over at Stan State. But because of the bill that our congressman voted for, that became law. My brother David was without insurance until he's 65 and on Medicare. And I think that's outrageous, right? There's 100,000 folks in the exact same boat just here in our community. We'll talk about issues, right? And I think the core of we should not cut Social Security, we should not cut Medicare, you'll probably hear from a lot of us. But most of all, I want to talk about values. I want to talk about the value of putting people first. If you look at Jeff Denham, the biggest problem that I see is that he is more interested, he cares more about what Paul Ryan and Donald Trump and Kevin McCarthy think than about what we need, what we think. He's voted for us consistently, voted against us, right? Including on that health care bill, including on an immigration bill. You've got to be blind driving through the Central Valley to not believe that we are a community based on immigration, right? And yet Jeff Denham, time and time again, just twice in the last 6 months, has voted against bringing the Clean Dream Act to the floor of the U.S. House, right? But the biggest example of this, I think, that affects the lives of everybody in this room is that tax cut bill that he voted for in October, right? He voted for a bill that would have added $1.5 trillion to the U.S. debt. What did it do? Did it help us?
No.
No. You already know the punchline. That's exactly right. It didn't help us, right? It just added to the bottom lines of a handful of corporations. It didn't actually help anybody. It certainly didn't help anybody in California because it repealed the state and local tax deduction. And now what we see happening in D.C. is we see a not very subtle trick where they add a bunch of money to the debt in October, and then 6 months later they say, wait a second, the debt's really high. What should we do about this? Oh, I got a great idea. Let's cut Social Security and Medicare. That's not going to work. We're not going to fall for it. And against all odds, I think we've been seeing an enormous resurgence of Democratic support in this community and all across the country, right? We saw a Democrat win in Alabama. Who expected a Democrat to win in Alabama, right? That was amazing. We saw a Democrat win in Pennsylvania, Connor Lamb, just a month or so ago. I think we're going to see the exact same energy happen here. I've been really thrilled by what we've seen just at our own campaign. Over the last 2 weeks, we saw a lot of unions that have come forward. My dad joined his first union at the age of 15. He joined United Food and Commercial Workers. He was a union bagger at Lucky's for 15 years, worked his way through college, worked his way through optometry school. I was born on union benefits. And what we've seen is a real surge from the union community. We've seen the Teamsters come out and endorse us, which is really thrilling, the largest union in our district. We've seen the electricians, the bricklayers, and others. We've got to make sure that we unite, right? Jeff Denham wins because he talks a pretty moderate game, right? He talks much more moderately than he actually votes. You're right.